How do you feel about surveys? And if you're anything like me, you probably think you get far too many. And the thing that really bugs me is when I make a phone call to the business contact centre that I want to talk to, I get a survey on an email. Maybe I get them delayed, but certainly I just get them all the time. That's not really best practice. So what I would like to cover now is, what does best practice look like? So how about if it worked like this? You pick up the phone, you dial the number of the business you want to speak to, and the first voice that you hear is either the CEO, perhaps, or maybe it's you. Maybe if you're the head of the contact centre, it's your voice. Now, are you going to say every time, please do the survey? No. What should happen first is the call comes in, the contact centre solutions should take a quick look in your CRM, in our case typically it's Salesforce, bringing back the routing data, but along with that, a flag that says, are we going to do a survey or not? Because certainly you shouldn't do a survey every time somebody calls, and at the most, once a month perhaps. So don't even think about doing the survey if they only called an hour ago. Let's imagine you called more than a month ago, and it's your voice, and it says, hey, my name is, in my case, Paul Turner. My name's Paul Turner. I run the contact centre. And at the end of this call, there's going to be a really short survey, just 2 questions and a message if you want to leave one. I listen to every one of those messages. I'd love it if you could take just 30 seconds and leave us your feedback at the end. Thanks for listening. And now we're routing your call to one of our agents. So you now do the call. And at the end, the agent hangs up. My voice, your voice again, says, thanks for staying on. There are only 2 questions, and the first one is, and just try and keep it to 1 or 2 questions. Maybe the first question is, please rate, did we actually address the issue, the problem? Did we do it? And keep it simple. Yes, 1, no, 2, and repeat it. Let them answer that. And then ask them, how did we do that? Were you pleased with the way that we conducted ourselves on the call? Work that one out. Yes is 1, no is 2. And then you say, thank you for that. If you can spare a moment, tell me what you think. I listen to all the messages. If you don't want to do that, just hang up. And if you do, when you finished, hang up. Importantly, make sure your solution is able to route all that data to you. So ideally, the feedback survey results go straight into, in our case, it's Salesforce, in the case of the customers that I work with. Immediately, you can have an alert triggered. So if you get a bad survey, that goes to a supervisor who can maybe deal with it straight away and phone back and say, we've just listened to your feedback and we're not happy, here's what we're going to do. But if you're the leader, you need to make sure that you do get some form of aggregation of that data, a selection of some of the calls, and you do something about it. And guess what? Here's the next thing to change. Why not change that announcement every month? So if I'm phoning the business every few weeks, every few days, maybe once or twice a year, but every time I call and hear the message changes. So maybe you could say, thank you for the feedback we've received to all our customers, and we changed the following as a result of that feedback. We've added some agents, we've changed some skills, we've changed the way the menu works, whatever it might be. We've changed our documentation. So we're listening implicitly. Please go on and leave a message. All too often, I meet businesses who do email surveys after phone calls into their contact centre. I ask them, what's the percentage response rate? And apparently a good rate could be 10%, and typically people are getting maybe 1-2%. These are statistically invalid numbers. They're suffering from a thing called base rate bias, where the number of samples you're getting is so small relative to the total size of the population. It is meaningless. So keep it small, change the message often, use your voice on that, and that's very easy to do. Only ask people to do the survey every so often and act on that information that they give you and do something about it and let them know. That, I think, is best practice for customer satisfaction surveys for voice.